Lisa Humphreys, and I'm the instructor and studio owner of Proper Pilates at Absolute Wellness. And I'm going to demonstrate for you an exercise that I developed called 6 inches. I developed it because I had a son who played football for 12 years, and they used to do an exercise called 6 inches where they would lower their legs in order to do abdominal work, but often they would put strain on their back and their spine would arch. So I decided to utilize a spring, and I'm using a purple heavy spring with 2 T straps for the feet. And so all you do is you take the legs down and you lift them up. I use this exercise a lot for my rehab patients at the chiropractic office here, and it's really a great way to work the abdominals but protect the low back. And this not only works the rectus abdominals, which is your 6 or 8 pack abs, but it works the deep, low, transverse abdominals, where a lot of people don't really have that deep core strength. So this is a wonderful exercise that helps to support the spine, but focus in on the deep, low belly without straining the low back. And you're just going to inhale on the up part and exhale on the down part. And be sure to keep the spine down and pelvis in neutral. And you're going to do about 8 to 12 reps of each one. The next one is a continual circle in one direction. So you're going to take the legs down and around. Inhale at the top, reach the legs out, down and around. And the hip bone isn't lifting on each side, it's just kind of shifting like a clock would turn the hands. Exhale on the down part and around. Again, try to keep the belly in, spine down, pelvis in neutral. And each time the leg comes over, you're creating space from the bottom of the rib cage to the top of the hip bone to just decompress the side, the spine, and the hip. And then you're going to reverse. Exhale when you take the leg to one side, and exhale when you take the legs up. Exhale on the down and reach and up. And think about reaching the legs out and holding the belly in. Think about keeping the shoulder blades nice and flat down on the mat. Stay out of the neck and ears. Keeping the shoulder blades flat on the mat is going to help keep the strain out of the neck and the upper traps. Again, 8 to 12 reps of each one. Now we're going to do our singles. Circle, stop in the center and top, reverse. Exhale, stop in the center and top, inhale, exhale. So you stop the momentum, it takes abdominal strength to stop. You start it back up again, it takes deep low belly abdominals to start it back up. Stop the momentum and exhale, go the other way. The last variation on this, take the legs down, and you're going to do these deep U's. Come over to one side, down and over to the other. So the side of the hip is getting a really good stretch. You're not really lifting the hip up too much. Mine's coming up a little bit, don't do it too much. And then come to the other side, but there's a little shift in the hip to create space from the bottom of the rib cage to the top of the hip bone, the deep U's. I use this a lot for my therapy patients who have back pain and back trouble. They can get abdominal work, but they can get it done safely, and they can get a stretch at the same time. And then as the instructor, what I'll do is I'll tell the client to take the legs to one side, and then I'll stand either on this side of the legs or the other side, and we'll just kind of push the legs and help them to facilitate a deeper stretch at the hip and the side. And then the client can take their hand and reach over at the bar and add on to that stretch. So that whole line of fascia from the hand to the side to the hip and the leg is getting stretched. And then same thing on the other side, stretch the other side. And it really feels good to get just an open stretch in the hip because so many people are tight in their hips. And it gets a little hip flexor too. And then take the legs back to center and then up. And as the instructor, I'll push the legs back and get a nice stretch in the hamstrings. Oftentimes I'll stretch from the feet and flex the feet, and that adds the Achilles and calf to the hamstring. And then bend the legs into a butterfly stretch, just to kind of open up the low back and inner thighs. And so that concludes my 6 inches series on the trapeze, utilizing the single purple spring if you're using balanced body equipment, the heavy spring with 2 T-straps